Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast episode will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, please do not continue to watch or listen until you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea Podcast. Today, we are covering Circle Line, which is a Singaporean
film from Singapore.
Is that?
I'm gonna say it's a film from Singapore.
Okay. See, yeah, what she said. But before we go into the review, let's grab our cups and talk about tea. So, Jess was kind enough to gift me some tea a few weeks back, and I am finally getting around to drinking it. So I am drinking the Tea Spot Turmeric Tonic Tea. It's got ginger root, cinnamon granules, fennel seed, peppercorn, sarsaparilla root, whatever that is, turmeric, and nettle leaf. It's Sarsaparilla. I don't know if the camera is going to blur it out, but that's what it looks like. So, but I really like it because it's actually in tea bags, but it's like whole leaf tea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, pretty cool.
Yeah. And I am drinking tea from the same spot. It's Olive Fusion. Is where I got it in Breckenridge, Colorado. So shout out to Colorado. And I'm drinking the Orange Cream Oolong Loose Leaf Tea. And it's got oolong tea, natural flavor, orange peel, safflower. And it smells like orange dreamsicle.
Yummy.
I have high hopes for this tea.
You'll have to let me know. And for our tea sippers out there, brew yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the review. So for the summary of Circle Line, a group of strangers gets trapped on a subway train and soon realize something deadly is hunting them inside. They have to work together to survive as the threat closes in. So for entertainment, so this one's kind of tough because I attempted to watch it multiple times, and during those multiple times, it was so slow that I fell asleep. So it's like I like the attempt because I did some digging, and apparently Singapore has one of the safest and most well-known metro trains. So I think it was appropriate for them to do a horror movie that's around their metro. And it's a good way to kind of play on, people's fear in regards to riding public transportation and stuff like that. But the movie really didn't seem to have a lot of good direction because it was 30% creature feature, and the rest was almost like a disaster drama type of vibe where they were trying to find the train. But it just made the movie feel, even though it's actually a fairly short movie, it made the movie just drag on and on. Yes. So I give it a 6. It's I am somewhat glad that I watched it, but at the same time, if it never plopped in my lap, then I would be okay never watching it. So, yeah. So it's I really like the concept of it, especially with everything with the mom and her son. I thought it was interesting too that the creature kind of was attaching itself to her son or more interested in him. So it's that was a good way to kind of try and build interest in stuff. But it just, But but I feel like also they had so much working for them because it's like the
Hmm.
atmosphere uh was tense, and like the fact that they're in like a train that's underground, like that gives you the feeling of like being claustrophobic. But it was kind of predictable, and it just was overall like very meh. And it's like they really
Hmm.
didn't explain the creature that well.
They
And
didn't at all.
yeah, I mean, they kind of showed something in the beginning, but I mean, not really.
They explained
Yeah.
nothing.
And it's like they'd make the creature like like somewhat unique, but at the same time, the creature wasn't really that memorable.
Yeah.
And the graphics, like the CG was so bad. So bad. Like weirdly enough,
We've
whenever
seen worse,
yeah.
but it was not great.
But like weirdly enough, I don't know if you noticed this, but it seemed like whenever it was closer, the effects looked a little bit better, and then whenever it
Yeah.
was farther away, that's when it like looked really bad.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh,
They took their time with it on the close-up shots for sure.
yeah. Yeah." Um, but yeah, this one for me, like I hate it because like there's not a whole lot of horror movies that come out of Singapore. Like it's typically like, Japan or Korea that really is like creating a lot
Or
of
Vietnam.
yeah, or
Or
a lot
yeah.
of like
Hmm.
the Asian horror movies. And so it's like
Hmm.
I was really excited and interested to see like, what this film had to offer. But yeah, unfortunately it was just very meh for me.
Yeah. I agree. I give this one a 5.5 for entertainment. I too fell asleep multiple times
We
and
were
had to back
struggling.
it up. It was hard, guys. It was hard. And I felt like they couldn't really pick a lane. Like, is it a search and rescue type film after a disaster? Or is it a creature feature? And they couldn't really decide. And honestly, like, there didn't seem to be that big of a sense of urgency or like this is a problem type situation when the train got lost. Like there are only a couple of characters that are like, no, this is a problem. We need to do something about this. And everybody else just seems like, oh, okay, yeah, they're gonna send search and rescue, and then they show like two people, two or three people suiting up to search and rescue.
Yeah, it's like the
So,
fact that
like,
you lose a train, like
a
that's
whole train,
yeah, that's not good.
whole train. So, it just kind of seemed a little lackluster.
Yeah.
And honestly, with the creature, it gave me like original sci-fi movie vibes.
Yeah.
It really did. If you know, you know. It's the CG wasn't great, especially the rat at one point that they showed toward the beginning. Just CG rat was super CG, and like they didn't even try. The creature itself was all right. Again, we didn't really get an explanation at all for the creature. Nothing like that. They leave a lot of questions unanswered, and it just
Yeah.
honestly, like, for most of the movie, I just didn't care.
Well, and then also they like
I
left it
didn't.
open for like a sequel, and I was like, please no.
Yeah, I guess. Like, I watched that ending part a couple of times and I didn't see it twitch or blink or anything. So,
I don't know.
like, if you're trying to imply that there could be a sequel, you didn't do great.
But
Because if
well,
anything, I'm like, oh, good, it really is dead.
Well, and it's like I really wouldn't be too upset if about like them not explaining the creature if it was just a lot more focused film. Like if they had it to where
Yeah.
it's more of the perspective of the people in the train and how
Mhm.
they don't know anything and they're in this really scary situation. And like kept that as the focus, I think that that would really have helped it. But the fact that it's
Yeah.
like switching back and forth and all of that is like it. It's like they gave us more, but then as an end result, they gave us less. It felt
Yeah.
like so.
I feel like they tried to do too much
Yeah.
with certain things and it just left the plot line a big old mess.
Yep.
So it's definitely a skippable one.
So for realism, realism's kind of I honestly kind of did it safe and did a 2.5 just because like my brain during all of the attempts with this movie just shut off. Oh, you like it?
Is good.
I will say I did
It
try
doesn't
the
need any added sweetness or anything. Is good.
that's the same with the turmeric tea. Like I was almost like a little startled because it tastes kind of sweet. And I was like, what is in this that would taste
That
sweet?
is unusual. Yeah, that is unusual for a turmeric tea.
Yeah.
Usually it's like all spice.
Like I don't know if it's the I honestly maybe it's I don't know, ginger is kind of sweet, but not like
Ginger's more spicy.
yeah. But it's like I'm not really getting any spice. It's more like sweet. I don't know. It's
Hmm.
interesting. It tastes good though.
That is interesting. Yeah. This is good.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
So for realism, I gave it a 2.5, and it's mainly because my my brain my brain just shriveled up and died.
You just roughly guesstimated 2.5.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like, on the losing the train
Good.
thing, like
Yeah, I counted off for that. You're not gonna lose a whole ass train like that.
yeah, like I could see it maybe going into like an area that, it wasn't supposed to. But they
Yeah.
should be able to be like, okay, as it's going through the tunnels, these are all of the different like paths that could have possibly gone through. And I mean, we live in a
And
place that,
paths and of those paths,
yeah,
like if it wasn't
right.
reported at the ones that are being used currently,
Yeah.
then by process of elimination, you should be able to find the stupid train a lot faster.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't know how many tunnels and stuff that they would need, but still, it's like they have a
Didn't seem like that many.
finite number of tunnels. So it just didn't seem like it should have been quite as difficult as it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know I don't even know where to even begin with the creature. Um
Yeah, it was a big fat nope.
yeah. So I mean that it was realistic that the mom wanted to protect her child.
Well, yeah, the human mom, yeah, definitely.
Right. Yeah, the human
Yeah.
mom.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And running after the creature when it took the kid, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
100% get that. Hmm.
But that's what I got for realism.
I gave it a 1. I gave it a 1. Mostly for the creature, but also for the train. Also for the train. But mostly for the creature. I'm sorry. This creature has been living down in the subway area for 20 years and nobody's seen the damn thing, and it got that big. That thing needs a hell of a lot of food
Yeah.
to sustain that size and to grow that size. I'm calling bullshit. It's not living solely on rats. That is not how it works. And it had babies.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there is a type of lizard. So it implies either there are multiple or it made basically clones of itself, which there is a species of lizard that does do that, and all of them are female because of that, because they're basically clones. So that I didn't quite count off for, but there were several babies. And also, she was intelligent enough, like the lizard creature was intelligent enough to recognize or at least equate the kid with the one that sort of took care of it when it was a baby.
Yeah.
Sort of. But a lot of lizard or reptile species don't generally take care of their young, and they don't really give a crap about like handlers. They just don't generally.
To like feed me?
From what I've seen. Like they're not really gonna equate that, especially with a completely new human that smells entirely different. And only vaguely resembles and looks what the other one did.
I think and
especially not 20 years apart.
Right.
Especially not 20 years apart when it's been living on its own, supposedly, in the subway system with no one caring about it.
Yeah.
And how did it get into the subway system? It went from a tank in a kid's room, which the kid was right, by the way. It did need a bigger tank. It went from a tank in the kid's room to the construction area in the tunnels somehow with no explanation. Sure, I guess. But also, there are very few reptile species that actually care for their young. There's less than a handful. And they only look after them up to a certain point. So, like, once they're able to start getting food on their own, which the babies that they showed were about the size of the rats, and with their teeth and everything, they could easily take on the rats. Easily. So I feel like she shouldn't have been as protective of the babies at that point as she was. It was just, I don't know, none of it really made sense. None of it with the creature made sense. We didn't get an explanation of where it came from.
Yeah.
We didn't get an explanation of how it reproduces. So are we expecting there to actually be multiple of that creature down there in the subway lines that it happened to get giggity with? Or did it clone itself essentially and just make copies of itself in baby form? Or what? How is this working here? And why was it trying to bring the kid there? Like, I can understand it even if it did equate it to that and feel some kind of connection to it. I don't understand why it would take the kid. Why?
Yeah.
I really didn't understand the construction area either, to be perfectly honest. Like, there was a giant ass manhole cover looking thing on the wall.
Yeah.
For why?
I don't know.
Were they trying to seal the creature up in an area? Like, they had no explanation of what they were doing there. It didn't look like it was technically part of the subway line. It just, none of it was truly coherent. And I think that's part of why I kept dozing
Yeah.
and having to back it up and rewatch certain parts because.
Yeah. Yep. So bottom line, I think you can understand our impression of this movie is a little lackluster, which is unfortunate, but you know that's the name of the game when you're watching and reviewing movies.
I mean, it started out interesting.
Yeah.
It just failed horribly.
Yep. So
By like the middle of the movie, I was already basically done.
yeah, that was about where I started to teeter off as well. So with that being said, thank you for joining us today and let us know what you thought of the movie. I'd actually be really interested if anyone has seen this one, what your thoughts were. If you kind of were along the same thoughts as us, or if you got a different impression of the movie. But if you'd like to recommend a movie, game, or tea, you can leave us a comment or join our Discord server. And if you'd like to keep up to date with our content, you can find our link tree listed below.
And if you'd like to support the podcast, please subscribe, like, and share our content. We also have a Teespring and PayPal donate button if you'd like to support us monetarily. You can find all of those sites mentioned linked below. But until the next time, guys, stay safe and stay spoopy.
Bye.